Plan this out. I received this guy. Yeah, should be coming. Thinking like what a waste of time.
Oh yeah. He's gonna be here.
You actually gave me your binder?
Yeah, and I've been hearing this one for
It's really
I was so
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
I was hungry. I threw away my lunch.
Rowdy is in charge of that. Rowdy kind of has taken that because he's been doing it a lot of years instead of me trying to catch up. He just kind of continue with his experience.
So module.
The Kappa has lots of different things that you can toggle, and he's been busy toggling things for different students and different abilities. So you need to call him, and then he'll set up, and you just tell him what kind of accommodations your kids need, and he sets that up. So I think it works basically the same way as SASB, where you sign in, and it gives you a code that all the students need to use. So you can go around making sure everybody signed in into the session, and once they are, then you can begin the session. Hello, I am Drew Warden, and I am the curriculum resource teacher here in charge of technology. It's a little after 4. I like to start kind of on time. And this is my email address if you need to get hold of me. We're not going to be able to cover everything I have planned. So I always plan more than I can do. I've always been that way. I've been teaching for 21 years, 20 years in 5th grade. And this is my first year in this position as curriculum resource teacher. If you have a QR, if you're using a device, like a handheld device, you will be able to do everything that we're doing today. It's better if you have a laptop, but you will be able to do everything as long as you have Google Docs. If you have Google Docs as a program on your device. If you don't, then you'll need to download that so you can be a participant in the notes, in the note taking. This is a live feed right here. It is being recorded. This is called a Google Hangout. It's being recorded right now. So everything I'm saying is being recorded in here, and you'll be able to go to this website, go to the YouTube channel, and actually watch this presentation later to be able to hear and see everything that we're going over. Raise your hand if you teach primary grades K through 3, K through 2. All right, live. Okay. What about the middle grades? 3 through 5, 3 through 6. Middle school? Middle school? All right. All right. So hopefully the things that I'm teaching you today, I just kind of get an idea where you are, because it's going to really direct how we focus on the kind of technology you can use in your classroom. I know a lot of you deal with limited technology in the classroom. I know a lot of you deal with students that don't have devices, and if they did have devices, they can't connect to the internet to do the things. So we're going to try to focus on how you can utilize, with a minimum technology in the classroom, how you can do things for your students. And there's a lot of things in this district, the West Side, that we have. We have Google Apps for Education, GAF, and we just adopted that in October, September, October. And so some of the things that I'll be talking about is going to be dealing with the Google Apps. If you don't have Google at your in your district, you can still utilize some of these things with your classroom. It just you'll have to do it through a personal account instead. I have, let me change my view here. And I have an app here called Spinny Wheel. Spinny Wheel. Let me show it to you. There's my daughter. Right there, Spinny Wheel. It's 99 cents. 99 cents. So about the cost of buying a soda. If you click on Spinning Wheel, you can create your own wheel of choices for your class. Oh, it's not presenting on. Oh, it's a little bit lagging, that's why. You can create your own choices for your class that they can spin. And as you see over there, it's a little bit behind. So if you didn't miss what I said, you can look back over there and I'll show you. What I did here is I have lots of different choices that we have to talk about technology in the classroom. And we will be spinning this wheel to determine what we're talking about. But before we do that, I want to talk about Spinny Wheel. This takes one device, so as long as you have a device in the class, you'll be able to use this. And you'll be able to utilize this for lots of different things, but I don't want to tell you what you can utilize it for, because you're all in different grade levels. I know what I would use it for. What I want you to do is talk about how you can use Spinny Wheel to develop things in your classroom. Go ahead.
Can we set up more than one wheel?
You can set more than one wheel. This is just one wheel. You can set up many, many different wheels, and you can title them. And so you can go, oh, this is the wheel for this, and this is the wheel for that, and this is the wheel for this. Okay? Spinning wheel. All right, go ahead and talk about it. It's not connected. You have to be ready. Different math problems. You would have to put 2 and then max that for 3. You would have to be able to read it. that's big. All right, like I said, I have a lot to go over. This is just one of the things. Who would like to share out an idea that you heard or that you came up with that you could use spinning wheel for in your class? Spelling words. Math problems. Huh? Brain breaks. Behavior.
Rewards.
Rewards. I heard a lot of more ideas. You guys are just shy, I'm sure. So we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel and see what I'm talking about first. You got to get spinning. There you go. Let's see what it is. It's backwards. All right, the first one is website projection tips. All right, great. Website projection tips. So I'm sure all of you, well, most of you have a projector hooked to your projector, right? A computer and projector. If you don't, and you're in the West Side, you're going to have one by next year. I'm going to share this screen here, and we'll go over it. So, if you have a website and you have information that you want to share with your class, there's many different ways that you can do that. Let me search for Marco Polo, and hopefully not get the Netflix one. Here we go. Okay, here's some information about Marco Polo, and you notice how there's lots of little ads and so forth. And when you project it for your class, you want to have a clean representation of what you want them to read, what you want them to pull out, the data, information that you wanted them to get out. So you can do one of two things. You can zoom in. That's you click on the options on the side of the Chrome browser, or on Internet Explorer. Let's see if I can get Internet Explorer thing going on too. It's the cogwheel. So you click on the cogwheel to zoom in on Internet Explorer, and on Chromebook, you click on this little the hot dogs, they call it, right here, and you increase the size just for the things that you want them to see. So that's pretty good, right? But let's say I don't want to have all of this stuff on there. I don't want them to see all that. I just want them to see like the early life. You can highlight and you can copy and paste. Raise your hand if you've known that you can copy and paste things. Okay, great. What about inserting it into a document to use for later? You guys know how to do that? Yes? All right. I don't want to cover things that you guys all know how to do, but in any type of Microsoft product, you can actually take a screenshot of anything that you're looking at, and you can paste it in an email. You can paste it in a PowerPoint. You can paste it into a Word document, and then you don't have to. After you paste it in there, you don't really have to worry about having internet connection. If your internet connection goes down, your students get to still see what you want them to see. So let me close this. So I talked about zooming in. That's always good. But we're going to go ahead and take a picture of this. I got to make sure that this image, let me zoom out again. I want to make sure that I see everything I want to copy on the page. So I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit. and I have to make sure that the Word document is right above it. Think of computers like stacking different web stuff on top of each other. You have to make sure that whatever you're going to take a picture of is right behind the Word or the email or whatever you're going to paste it in. Every single office has this thing called insert. You can click on this. It says screenshot. So I could take a picture of that whole screen, or I could take a picture of just a screen clipping. If I click on screen clipping, I can left click and just drag what I want. And boom, it's inside the document for me to use for later. I can save it or whatever. And it's an object. It's an object. An object is something that's not text. It's like a picture. And Office sees it as an object. So I can drag it around, but I can also make it so that it's behind. Like I can have text in front of it. So I can set this up so that, like a picture, I can say put text in front of it, and then my students can type right on top of it. Let's see if I can get, here we go. I had it for a second. Okay, that's all right. I'm not going to sit here tapping the board all day. But if I right click on this, I can actually, I can make it behind text. That means I can type into this document and it will type right over it. So I can say, you know, I can have my students, I don't know why it's not doing it now. I should be able to, there it goes, type right behind it. So the students can actually space and go right to where they need to go, and they can pinpoint aspects that I want. Like, let's say this is this paragraph right here I want to focus on. I can type in right there, focus on this paragraph. And it looks like it's part of the text that I copied. All right, enough of that. So you can basically cut and paste anything that you find on, you can do this for pictures or anything that you see on your browser or on the computer. You can actually take a screenshot of it and put it into email. So let's say you have a class dojo thing that you're doing and you want the parents to know, you can take a screenshot of what their student's behavior chart is, and you can paste it into email. Or anything, any type of document that you have, you can take a screenshot and paste it into email, paste it into Word for documentation or anything like that. All right, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to talk about how you could use this in your class. Go ahead. I forgot to have them join to the next.
I've never seen it how to do it like that. I've always just like the press screen and then put it in tape and cropped it down. I didn't know you could do a screen. Bring up my
Yeah. You insert the picture. You have your webpage now? It's a dinosaur.
Does anybody want to share an idea out? Share an idea about this? That's fine. Something that I wanted you to do, which I didn't have you do, and I kind of need you to do it, is go to this website, www.wsdtechfact.com. wsdtechfact.com. And of course, it always works for me until I'm doing training. I think it has to do with the amount of people in the room. www.wsdtechfact.com. Go to Hangouts. The Hangout. And at the bottom here, you'll see Google Doc Notes. I want you to click on that. If you're in your device, you're going to have to open up that page, the Google Doc, open it in your actual documents, Google Doc app. So you go, back to where you were, and then you should be able to. Open it into your. Yep, FAQ. Oh, okay, yeah, you do that. Yep, that's it. If you have Google Docs,
If you open it with Google Drive,
Docs.
so where do you go from?
Oh, you'll go back to where it was, and then you're gonna click on
I
edit.
know, it has Drive, but I don't know.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Go back.
Mine was downloading it.
And then click on the, where's that up button?
Sorry.
That's right. You shouldn't have to log in to You have to.
You're all
It's not there. I mean, it's a link to the site. Yeah. This, once you get there, you can write in notes for everybody else to use. So somebody's already started writing about spinning wheel. And I have a long list of different things we're going to talk about. You just write down what you want to, what you learned or anything that you want to remember about it. Make sure you don't cursor block somebody by pressing enter to make sure that you're in between. Like if somebody's typing here, make sure you type down here, away from them. Okay? And this way, as long as you have this link, you'll be able to look at these notes later. Any notes that we write, everybody's notes. So by taking your notes, you're sharing it with other people, and then they don't have to rewrite the exact same thing in their notes. Raise your hand if you've ever done this before on a Google Doc. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. If you need to ask a question, you just click on my picture here. You click on the picture. I don't know if I can respond to myself. I guess I can't. But if you click on my picture, it will give you a box, and you can type in a question. And so if you have any questions or you want me to address something I'm not addressing, you can go ahead and write it down. Yes.
If you, so I can, I shouldn't, but I can interject into somebody else's writing.
Yes.
So if they're using it,
You have to make sure there's no cursor. If there's a cursor there, your cursor, you don't make sure your cursor is not there. And this is all anonymous since you didn't have to sign into Google Drive to do it. So you'll see anonymous, aardvark, anonymous thing. One of you is that's who you are for this thing. If you do it through your district though, you can have them sign in and you'll know exactly which student is doing which notes. But this is all anonymous. So I didn't have you sign in. All right, let's do another spinny. Let's do another spinny, see what happens.
if you're in a place in the room and you can't see, you want to just get up and move over, please feel free to do that.
Oh, guess what? We're going to be talking about Google Hangouts. That's what we're doing right here. This is a Google Hangout. And I'm actually doing it on air. So that means it's going to be visible for later. It's going to be posted on YouTube for later. You don't have to do it that way. A Google Hangout can also work with multiple people logging in, and you can have a conversation with them at the same time. And it usually doesn't lag like this. I don't know why it's lagging so far. Probably because I'm watching that on YouTube, and you're not part of the Hangout itself. That's the YouTube link. So what's good about this? Well, let's say that you are you and a teacher friend don't teach at the exact same school site. You can, and they have a really good idea that they want to show you, but they want to, but it's like at recess time or it's at lunchtime or right after school, and they don't. You want to get together. You can do a little hangout together. You just create a hangout, and then you can screen share. That's what I'm doing here. It says screen share right here. This green box. You click on screen share, and they click on entire screen, and now they can show you exactly what they're talking about. They can show you what the program looks like, what they're going to do, that sort of thing. Plus, you have the if they have a microphone, you can actually hear what they have to say. So you have a conversation. You can ask questions, interject, and that sort of thing at the same time. You don't have to do it on air, so it doesn't have to be on YouTube. It could just be a private conversation between you and your friend, you and your teacher friend. This could also be a method that you can use to flip the classroom. You can use Google Hangouts to record a lesson. And that lesson, if you do a screencast, if you have a smart notebook, you'll be writing on the smart notebook, and they'll be taking your voice down. And so you'll be able to post that on YouTube for students later, or they can dial in on a Hangout for a certain lesson. If let's say that they're homesick, they can actually call in.
Do you have some
link in.
examples of that on your website? Because
Hangouts, I haven't done videos on Hangouts yet, but it is pretty cool. I'm still trying to figure out all the bugs and stuff on it. This is the first time I've done it so that we're looking at the YouTube channel at the same time. And I didn't notice that I didn't know there was a lag. Now I know there's a lag, and that's part of the teaching thing, right? You learn things as you go. And so the application for Google Hangouts also takes place on Google+. If you're in the West Side Union School District, you'll have to Wikipedia through it. But then once you get on Google+, you can actually, there's Google Hangouts all the time that you can join in throughout the world. In fact, there was a Google Hangout today where somebody who was making a Google Hangout live, and it was their students touching sharks in a shark tank. And they were doing that in a Google Hangout. So if your students wanted to watch that Google Hangout, you could do that, and you could participate. And there's also a question side so you can ask questions and they answer during the Google Hangout. So on Google Plus, you just go to the Hangout area and it'll give you a whole bunch of Hangouts that you can do. And if your circles are all teachers and all that kind of stuff, you're going to have a lot of different Hangouts that you can just do and watch and participate in, and your students can too. Any question about that? All right, 3 minutes to talk about how you would use Hangouts in your classroom.
I would your home and watch
They do like my kids also it's like
So it would be a private between you two. You would have to focus the camera on because you get an opportunity to log in. Because obviously when the parents there, they don't act up. And it's not safe.
You guys watching her. But no one's instructing you.
All right, who would like to share something that maybe you've heard or something that you said that you would think that was a great idea for how to use Google Hangouts?
In-class field trip.
In-class field trip, yes.
Like 10,000 a day of pictures.
Yes, 10,000. Anything else? We talked about like if a parent wants to drop in and see what you're doing in the classroom, they could drop in like that. A recess time or at the beginning of the day, they can log in and then you can minimize the screen so if the kids don't know that they're watching, they can watch what's going on. And they can watch their kiddo and how they behave in the class if you wanted to do that. And you have to make sure the parents knows that it's a private hangout just for them and it's not something that's broadcast because you can do that. It doesn't have to be on YouTube.
I'm going to interrupt for
Yes.
a minute. I'm going to ask if we can have sidebars not going on while Drew is talking. I know you're all engaged in the conversation. I know what you're talking about. It's all good stuff, but some people aren't able to. So when Drew's talking, if you could keep your sidebars just on hold, and then when he gives you an opportunity to talk together, because I think some of us can't hear this.
For Google Hangouts, somebody put class field trip. Make sure you put Google Plus. You would do that. You'd find the class field trip through Google Plus. But you can also have people call in from aerospace industry and that sort of thing. They like to do that too. Have a conversation with them. So. All right. Okay. Let's see what's next. All right. So somebody over here spit. There you go. Woohoo! Hopefully we don't get something that we already got, so we'll see. You got Code.org. You guys know code.org? Code.org. Anybody? Anybody? This is for all grade levels. For all grade levels, code.org. Let's go there. Oh, there's that. If you're on the Google Doc, you can actually click on code.org. It'll send you right to the. It's a link for you. It's for the hour code, but this is more than just the hour code because it kind of gets your kids started on how to do it. But they can sign in and keep track of their things. It has stuff from kindergarten all the way up through middle school, and as you learn. You know, a lot of people think of it, oh, the hour code. I did the hour code, I'm done, right? But there's so much more on this code.org thing where they start learning how to do JavaScript. Kids can start making iPad apps. They start learning how to do things that are deeper than just, you know, making the angry bird jump around and try to get to the pig, right? That's what they're trying to do. So, and depending on what level you're at, I know for fourth grade and up, they had one where it was like this frozen, and you can make a fractal using the person skating in the ice. And there's more than just the Angry Bird thing. There's more than just the zombie and flower one. It keeps on going. So as long as they stay engaged in the code.org, it will teach them how to do even more and more coding utilizing what they learned in the past into the future. So if last year they did the hour of code, when they get to you, they might be able to do a little bit more and a little bit more in the site. And eventually they might be doing apps for the phone. And actually, after you get done with the app, it teaches you how that you can sell the app if you wanted to. So they can start making a little bit of money outside.
Is there a progression then? So the first step is to do hour of code and then?
Yes.
Okay.
The first step is always to do the hour of codes because it kind of gets the mentality between the by the logic and how it works. And a lot of things are moving away from JavaScript, but the whole JavaScript idea is what is based on C++ and other coding programs that they'll need. So by using JavaScript, they'll be able to move on and do other things too.
What's the grade level for that?
All grade levels.
All the way?
Yeah, so I was in a kindergarten class, and I spent 4 weeks teaching them how to code. And we started out with just, it was just arrows. It was puzzle pieces. We started with puzzles. It was just pieces of puzzles, and they had to move them together to make the shape. And then we moved on to, after the puzzle, well, some people stayed on the puzzle for a while. And then the kindergartners went on to do arrows. So it was like the Angry Birds thing, and instead of saying, it was arrows. So you drag one arrow in, and it would go that way one step, and then you drag an arrow and it would go down one step. So it was really cool. And as they progress, it's for non-readers, right? Kindergartens, some read, some don't, but this was more about images and pictures to get the logic of coding down. So all the way through to 5th, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and on. And then when they get into higher levels coding, they could do Scratch, which is a program that uses similar coding skills, and it's made by the MIT guys. Scratch. My 5th graders did Scratch a lot. After we did this, they did Scratch because it was like a natural progression. But I don't have Scratch on the wheel. So, why is this important? Okay, I can say, how are you going to teach this in the class? I did that before, but maybe that's not the right conversation. Maybe the right conversation about this is, why should we bother doing this for our kids? Why don't you go ahead and talk about it in your groups?
I don't know, with high school, I think this would be really kind of basic technology. Use it all the way to junior high, right? If they have no
just I don't, honestly, I don't know where I'm like, I want to see technical.
I like the idea of
City type, I go like, I can't do this. Yeah, but you see other things, you type like words. Like, no, you have to be able to, like, I want to, I'm sure there's ways. I just don't like to use it how I would use it. I know my friend. They'll do it. What about 7 years? You know, when time can't put that surgery. Spend 3 hours on one test. You realize that I think I got that kind of what did you do last year? Why did you do that? I don't know. Why did you do that? I would have to do because, well, no, not in bad state. It's just like a long time. Like a long time. I'm not sport. I just know it's like yeah, like red.
It's really about all right. I see some great notes about this. Anybody want to share out why we should teach code?
It's the future.
It's the future. Well, technologically confident. Yes.
Make money.
Make money. Higher level thinking. When we talk about Common Core, isn't it about making connections and connecting concepts? Well, coding is all about logic and about how you do something first, then you do something next, and then after that, if this happens, and if this is not true, then this has to happen, right? And that logic is very important in just the Common Core way of doing things and how we communicate. Great. All right, let's see. What's next on our wheel of fun? Sorry. Google Groups. Google Groups. Raise your hand if your district is doing Google stuff. Google stuff. Google stuff. Okay. This, if you're not doing Google right now, this might not be as pertinent right now, but in the future it might, because as we get our classes developed and our classes going, we like to share documents with our students, like guideline forms. We like to share what our class is about. And our Google Groups, now Google Groups is, let's see if I can get to the right one here, because I have to go to the district Google Groups. And if I don't go to the district Google Groups, it'll be blocked. There it is. So everybody in the website has access to Google Groups, but it has to be groups.google.com/a/website.k. Oh gosh, how are we gonna remember that, right? Just go sign into your Google account and click on the waffle. Click on the waffle and go to more, and then click on groups, and then you'll be there, right? Don't worry about typing in the address; it's kind of long. If you just go to groups.google.com, it's going to be blocked for you. because that's the public domain site. Now you can do this in your public domain site. If you don't have Google Ask for Education, you can create a group like that. But it really works really well with GAF. When we create a group, we create a group name. So whatever, I don't know what you want to call the group, maybe your class, maybe that period. I don't know. And then the email address. That means whenever somebody sends an email to that address, this address is going to be automatically sent to all participants in that class. So you don't have to share that. But it could be utilized in the higher grade levels. Group description, what is it about? After I create the group, all I have to do is type in students, start typing in students, and they populate because they're part of the corporate directory. And I can put all my students in there, and then when I want to share a document, I just start typing in the group name, and boom, it automatically comes up, and I share it with them. Why should I do that? Well, if I share with my class, I may want somebody who's going to enroll 3 months from now to have that document too. Well, when they enroll in the class, as soon as I enroll them in the group, guess what they get? The documents, all the documents I've shared up to that point with that group, they'll have access to. So this way, we can create a group, and we can even do small groups. Let's say group 1, group 2, group 3, study buddy A, study buddy B. Whatever you want to do, you can make these groups. And then whenever you want to share, I want to share with study buddy A group, boop, boop, and then those 5 people get that. Study buddy B group, they get this document. And we can separate them by different groups too. So we can share documents really easily. Once we create the groups, we can share documents really easily between different individuals in our class or class as a whole. And then they'll have access to it whenever they join that group, or you can actually remove them too, because you're going to be the controller. If you create it, you're the controller.
If you add them to the group, where will they find the documents? Inside of the group?
No, they will find it in their drive under Shared With Me as soon as you share it with them.
So they have to have a Google email then?
No, they just have to have Drive.
Okay.
We don't host.
Drive, don't you have to have a Google email?
Our students right now have Google Drive, but they don't have mail.
So how do you add them to the group? Like send them the invitation to the group? Do they have like some
Yeah,
login?
No, as soon as you share it as a teacher, they automatically have it in Shared With Me, so they can see the document in there. Okay, if you want to put in that group an outside email address, you can too. So like a parent email address, you can put that in the group too, and then they'll be able to receive emails. It automatically sends out emails, but we don't host student emails in this district,
Right.
And we're trying to get around that, maybe to do that in the future. Been working on that, but right now we don't have it. And because of that, we can't email our students, which kind of sticks with Google Classroom and a couple other things because they can't receive email, but they have to log in the Classroom to get their things. They have to log in the Drive to get their things, but it's still there as soon as you share it with them. They still have access to it. They just don't get an email reminder. Yeah, yes?
About the group email address. Is that you just make it up?
Yeah, I make it up.
And then since that email address doesn't exist, it won't go to anyone? Or?
It basically, when you send it to that email address, it doesn't send it to that email address. It sends it to all the email addresses in that group. So if you let's say you make a parent list, parent group, then as soon as you mail it to parents, my parents, GGOSI, then it will send it to all those email addresses. It won't send it to that. We'll send it to all the people in that group.
So you do need their email addresses to set up the group then?
Yes. In Westside, they're all in the all students are in the directory. But if you want to make a parent group, you're going to have to get their parent email address. You have a question? Yes.
Will it work with emails that are not Gmail?
Yes.
So our iPads aren't getting there. We are trying. Could you repeat the steps if I'm on the computer for how to get to this site?
Yeah, you log into your Google account. So you're at this. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's going on. It's always those corners. Oh, it disappeared on me. Okay, so as soon as I click on Google, you see my picture over here. That means I'm automatically signed in. If it doesn't say that, I will say the word sign in. You click on that, you put in your district email address, and your password has to be 8 characters long. So I recommend your district password with your site at the end, something kind of easy to remember, like easy or whatever. If you're not in the west side, then it won't reply to you. But once you're logged in, you click on this this right here. This is called the app button. And it lists all the apps. So the students, as soon as they log in, you say, I want you to go to Drive. Then they click on the waffle, and they click on Drive, and boom, anything shared with them in the group will be available.
So it's waffle and group.
Yeah, waffle, then groups. And groups, you might have to click on this More button if you don't see it. And then I click on groups. And there it is.
What if I get this web page not available?
Then you probably went to groups.google.com. Or maybe it's blocked from Wiki.
I am in groups.google.com. So how do I get out of that?
You go to google.com. Just go to google.com. Click on the waffle. Click on More. And then click on Groups. But you have to be logged in with the district one, because that will take you to the district group site. Okay. There are problems, some problems with this because the district is concerned.
So with the Google.
Go to a.westsign.k12.ca.us. Maybe it's because I'm unblocked. Did you unblock this computer? Why don't you unblock that? Go to Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Unblock it and then do it. Okay, so we discovered something. I'm unblocked here because I'm on Hangouts and you have to unblock. You have to unblock to get there. So that's Wikipedia. And then put in your district email password. All right, 3 minutes, talk about how you would use groups. Go ahead.
There. Yeah. You know, and then I told my husband here, so I'm worried about going there.
Browser, but Safari's not the greatest.
Everyone at our door, we now.
All right, does anybody want to share what they talked about Google Groups? Parent communication. Yeah.
Share lessons, ideas, and information with other teachers.
Ooh, that's good. Share lessons and ideas with other teachers. So if you have teachers in and you make a teacher group, like say 5th grade at your site, you could share documents between each other and that sort of thing. Easy way to share with everybody. Anything else? All right, Amanda, I'll let you say. All right. We're spinning and we're spinning, we're spinning, we're spinning. Okay, URL unshortener. You know, in our district, they block all URL shorteners, and it gets really annoying really quick because you go to a conference, you go to training, and
Do you know password for this computer?
huh?
You're right.
It's the districts. Are you in our district? Okay, I'll sign in for you. You can be me. Okay, so URL, if you do shorteners, it's great because you get these long things and they shorten it down to really nice things, and then they give it to you, and then you go to your district and you're like, I can't even use this resource in the place I teach, even though this is a teaching resource. So there are 2 different things. I think I put a link for both of them on here. Oh yeah, this URL shortener right here, unshortener, is actually a Chrome plugin. You can actually add it to Chrome, and on the resource which gives you the link, you can right click on the link and click on unshorten, and it'll automatically unshorten. And it's a free thing for Chrome. You can just add it to your Chrome browser. Unshortener URL. So you have this link right here. It says bit.ly, you know those bit.ly things, right? So bit.ly, and then they have the thing in short, but you can't get to it in your district because it's blocked. Well, if you download this URL unshortener into your Chrome browser, now you can right click and unshorten link is right there. Boom. Yes.
That's only to show you the browser, not the actual computers. We can't download anything on our computers. On our work computers, we're not allowed to download anything.
This is a browser plugin.
But it's with the browser, okay.
It's a browser plugin.
Try it on your computer.
It's a browser plugin. All right. So you're not able to do that. That's fine. Because I have another thing. It's just a website. Am I not sharing this? Oh my goodness, I wasn't sharing the screen. So people didn't see what I was talking about. Okay. So you click on unshortener here, and you go to the site. There it is. That's the unshortener URL, and you can click on that link, and it should go there. So you have access to this document after you leave here to be able to be on your computer wherever you are. Go to this document. You get there by www.usdtechfact.com. You go to Hangout. You click on it, and you get to that document. Once you get to the document, you can save the shorteners. Yes, Amanda?
Can we add plugins to our computer?
Yes.
She doesn't know what a plugin is.
No, I just don't understand what this purpose is. I just missed it.
Okay. No, that's fine. When you go to conferences or you go to other places, maybe your teachers might share it with you at college. I don't know. But you're going to run into this all the time. I'm just telling you right now. You're going to run into it all the time. And people don't like to give these long addresses where you have to write them down, right? So they give you a shortened URL. And the shortened URLs are blocked in our district because you can have a porn site with a shortened URL and they don't want you to bypass the filter. So just block all shortened URLs. So because of that, they think of what students would do, right? They would this game is blocked, so they're going to shorten URL it so they can get to it at school.
So this is a website you can go to.
Yeah, this is actually not the website, but this is one of the resources. This is actually a Chrome plugin. And so when you plug it, when you add it to Chrome, it will automatically load up. You right click on the URL and you can unshorten it.
Can I ask you about a plugin? Because I don't really understand plugin.
No problem.
Just explain that a little better. What is a plugin?
A plugin adds ability to your browser. It adds things to your browser so it can do more things on the web. So there's a browser that I have that will read the text to the students. It's not on my list of spinners, I'm sorry. But there's lots of different browser add-ins that you can just search for and find these really cool things and then try them out and see if they would work with your class and stuff. Yes?
There's a great Evernote plugin.
Yes, there's Evernote plugin too. Yes. Okay, that's on the list. I got there's lots of different things. Okay, let's go to the other one. It would just unshorten it. Unshorten it is just a website that will unshorten it. You copy, you paste it in there, you say unshorten it, and it'll give you the link. It's that simple. Now it's not as cool as right-clicking on it and then shorten it automatically. But you can go to this website. You just unshorten it. I think you can remember that, and then shorten it. All right. Would you use this with your students? Could you use this with your students? Unshortening things?
Things for the same reason the district doesn't want us to.
But if they unshorten it, then you know what it is. They know what it is. Okay. Using URL shorteners is kind of cool for students. In fact, that's one of the problems I had today in planning this, is that lots of things like this, the document, this document here, let me show you the link for it. Here it is right here. This is the whole thing. No, not even the whole thing. It's not even all there. It's like huge. How do we get everybody to that document that is such a huge link? Well, you go to a URL shortener and it will shorten it for you. But we don't usually do that because it's blocked in our district. Maybe your district's different. All right. This is just a tip and trick for after you get back from conferences and you want to look at things that you could look at the conference, you can't look at school. All right. I don't think any session, any questions about that? Because we can move on. All right, let's go over here. Now I gotta spin it. Spin it. Oh, augmented reality. I just learned about this. I just learned about this at the Q conference. It's pretty great. So this is this program here is Eurasma. Let's see if I can. I have it on my phone. I don't have it on my iPad. It's iPad and phone. And this is something that you just have to try out for yourself. It does not. It's not. I can't really describing it. It does not do it justice, does it, Amanda? I'm like, oh, it just does this, right? No, it doesn't. So it's the one with the triangle. And there's a link. There's a link on the Google Doc for it. You can download the app, and when you download the app, it allows you to tag a video to an object. A video to an object. So if I'm looking at an object for and I tag it with, let's say, a student goes up and does a presentation, right? And I video it. Then afterwards, when they get done, I get their papers or their project that they did, and I tag it. I tag their work with the video. Now that that video is tagged to the work, when they go home, their parents can now use their iPad and look at their work, and boom, they can watch the video. Comes right up. But they just have to be friends with me. They have to have my name. So as a teacher, you have to give out your name on the app so that they know what to tag. So whenever you tag something, they'll be able to look at it as long as they have the object. Does anybody have any money? Okay. Do you have a $1 bill? Let's see if I have $1. Let's see if I can get this to work. Can you come up here and hold it for me? Let's see if I can get it to work. Yeah, it's back. So this is just, somebody tagged this and made this public so anybody can use it. Yeah, I just need to see the whole dealy bob. Oh. Can you get it to work? It's not doing anything. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get it to, maybe it's not connected to the internet. It's not working. I must have pressed the wrong button here. No? It's trying to. All right, whatever. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, sorry about that. I'm going to, instead of spending all my time trying to get you guys to see this on such a small thing, we're just going to look for it. Here we go. Okay, so see how they took the phone? So basically what it did is it took that target of that picture, takes the target of that picture, and as soon as it sees it, it starts to project a video on top of it. So that that little minion was video. So they have a roller coaster on the video. So they link the video of the actual game to that picture. So as a teacher, you may think, well, this is kind of fun for the outside world and doing things like that. But you can see that the students might have fun making videos and tagging things in their class. I had some 23-year-old here. Maybe you have a poster about the Pythagorean theorem, and you have them take a video and then tag that, and then whenever everybody comes up, they can see somebody talking about it at the same time. All right, so that's Eurasma. Eurasma? Yes. Yes. If you want more training on how to link things, I figured out it didn't take too long to do, and figure out how to link things. But you need some kind of video before you link. So make sure you take the video, and then you have to select that. You have to upload it into the device, and then you have to share it that way. So you need to have something to share, to tag it to. You know what I'm saying? So if I have an object, let's say this object here, and I want to do the top of this object, I have to make sure that I have something to tag to it before I start the whole process. All right, go ahead and talk about how you would use this in your class, or your students would use it.
That's what I do.
Sorry, you have to make a an account. Did you download the app? Is that the app?
That's the first time I can see it.
Okay, you have to go to your Google you have to go to the Google Store and download the app for it.
Sure.
Yeah. No, that's the Google. That's the browser, isn't it? You have to go to your store. What is your app store called? Yeah, Play Store. Play Store. Yeah, and search for Eurasian. There it is. Top one. Then you have to download it. You have to install it onto your. But once you install it, then you have to create an account. And the reason you create an account is so that your parents, you can say, I'm this person, right? And then they can make you a friend, and then whatever you tag, they get to see. Right? Because you want, if you want to share things with parents, then you're gonna have to, they're gonna have to know your username so they can tag you.
Yeah. Can you tag more than one video to a document?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you would. No, you can only tag one thing in Eurasma to it, but you can, video edit and put things together before you do it. If you figure out how to do more than one object, then let me know. Because all I found when I did it, I remember clicking on one object, saying, connect it to this. I don't think there was another choice to connect something else.
I was just wondering if that'd be a great way for me to have multiple presentations or something.
Yeah.
And then
all right. Anybody want to share what you talked about? Yeah. Yeah. That's great. I like that. Story starters. Yeah.
Anchor charts, you have an anchor chart made, and they can scan it and it'll take them to an interactive video.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool too.
With the newspaper, you could use it in a morning routine where it's the class, picture of the class, and you click on that, and it's any kind of announcements that you want to say or your plan for the whole day, like a little tidbit of your plan.
Oh, that's
for the
cool.
whole day or the week in your morning routine.
That's awesome. And they would enjoy that too, because they go, oh, look at that. Yes.
Homework help.
Homework help.
If they take on a homework sheet, you could explain if they need help.
Yes, that's great. That's great. You guys hear that? So you tag it to the homework page, and then you your video on top of that. So when you look at their homework, when they look at their homework page, it's you come up as a video explaining how to do it. And once you do it once, then it's saved for all times, right? So then when you use that worksheet again, then it's done. All right. Okay, Eurasma. Let's do another one. I'm not gonna get through with everything. I'm sorry. I got 20. I don't even have everything on the list, and I had 21 items. So. Spin.
Could you put that on the smartboard?
You would have to use your app connected to your plug. You know what I'm saying? So you have to plug it into the projector, and then you can show it.
Okay.
Unless you have an Apple. Anybody use? Well, she uses a Macintosh. But if you have an Apple Mac and you plug in your device, they now allow you to make it a window on your device, so you can see it, which is kind of cool. But we're kind of a PC thing. So, class badges. Have you guys ever heard of class badges? Class badges. Class badges. All right. It's free. It's free, and basically it's the gamification. You guys heard about gamification? Like you can say Class Dojo kind of gamification because you give points, take away points, yay. And there's also something called Class World of War class. And instead of like Class Dojo little creatures, you actually have like warrior and wizard, and then you gain XP. So instead of giving a point, you're giving XP, and they level up and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. In class badges, you sign in, you create an account, then you add students to that account, and like Class Dojo, they get a little code, right? And then as they do things, you give them badges for their accomplishment. Like you turn in all your work for week 1. You turn in all your work for week 2, and they start gathering badges. And as kind of a competitive thing, and you can create your own badge. There's a whole bunch of badges that you can use. Lots of different badges you can use. And there's stock badges. And you can create your own badges, different colors and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. It's just a method also of giving rewards to students that doesn't take money out of your pocket. You don't buy those cheesy Oriental Trading Company things, but you're giving them something digital that they can log in and they can keep track of when things are due. So it's a scheduler, so it'll keep track of when things are due, but it also will allow them to earn a badge for completing things, for projects and assignments and that sort of thing. Class badges, free.com. There's other ones that cost money, and they're a little bit more buff. They have more things on it, but this one's free, and I like free. Any questions on this one? Class badges. All right. Do we need to talk about this one? We'll move on. Move on. Talk about this one. Yes.
Does it create their usernames and stuff, or do we have to create?
You can create usernames.
Does it have a generated one to create? Because that's a lot to do like for each student.
Just their name, like first and last name.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It wasn't very hard to do. I created some people into my account, and I can show you later. I can log into my account and show you. Okay. And it wasn't difficult to make the badges. It took a little bit of time, and then it doesn't take time. You can do multiple classes too, and their username passwords were very easy to generate on my very easy. All right, moving on. All right, we have Google Chrome browser. Google Chrome browser. Okay, you're like, oh, what do I have to learn about the Google Chrome browser? Maybe you know it all, but if you don't, there's a lot of really cool things with the Google Chrome browser that you can do. The first thing that you have to know about the Google Chrome browser is that you can actually sign in to the browser itself. Do you guys know that? You can sign into the browser, and wherever you go, your links, as long as you sign into a browser, your links follow you wherever you go. So if I make links at home that I want to use, I come to school, I log in to the browser, and now all the links that I made at home are now available to me at school. The browser also allows you to switch people. So if you have multiple Google accounts, you can actually have multiple browsers open with different accounts. You can also go incognito. Of course, go incognito basically means that it's not going to save anything that you do. It's not going to save anything that you do. So if you try to save a favorite, a site, it's not going to save it because it's incognito. I mean, it's not saving anything. So what I use it for? To test out students' accounts. I can't log in. Well, let me see if I can. Go incognito, user information, and see if you can log in as them. It doesn't save anything, so it doesn't matter. You could also going incognito kind of it works. It really is the best way to use it is for students, not for yourself, but for students. Another thing, did you know that if I close this, oh no, I closed it, I can reopen it? I right click on the tabs and it says reopen close tab. And bam, it reopens the tab I just closed. And it goes back, as long as this session is open, I can reopen as many tabs as I have closed over time. You know, sometimes you close things that you don't want to close. You right click, you say reopen tabs. If you look at this, when I signed under my browser, I got lots of different things saved up at the top. This is your basic, these are all your links that you've saved, and you save it by pressing on the star, and you guys know that, right? And then if there's more, then there's arrow. The arrow will give you more things. And if you save more things and more things and more things, best thing to do would be to shorten the names. See where it says Power School for Ed up here? If I right click on this, I can rename it. Let's see. Okay, and I could just call it PS. And now I can have another thing on the top, and more things can be placed on the top if you just shorten the names of the things you link to. So instead of My Big Campus, maybe I want to say now I have more things on the thing. Any questions? All right, how would you use this? How would this help you? Go ahead and talk about it.
I know. Yeah. I'm Googling and I'm like, that's not it. Going through all these different links. One of the things that's like Pinterest is it's so good. And I don't just I could actually follow it. I have way more space for my brain.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm probably not going to get to it. Would I use the Chrome browser thing? Yeah, reopening tabs is great, but I usually just use because I'm wherever computer I'm at. So I'm in here, but this is not my computer. But I got all my links because I just signed into the Chrome browser. I go to the computer lab at some other sites. I log into that Chrome browser. Boom, I have all of my links. My links follow me wherever I go, and I love that. So, all right, let's move on. You guys. Yeah, I would put it in between you. So first come, first serve. Oh, okay. Weebly. Weebly, you guys know Weebly? Do I have to go over it? Okay. Weebly, I'm just going to go really quick because most people know about it, but there's a link on there. It is a website creation service. And education.weebly.com allows you teachers to make free websites. You see where it says pro? I've actually paid the extra money so I can do pro. And the difference between pro and your free thing is that I can make as many web pages as I want, and I can also upload up to over 5 megabyte files onto the website. And I have been pro for the last few years because my students used to make videos, and then I posted on the website, and then the parents were able to watch the videos, and it was blocked. It was, you had to do passwords. You can do that on the site, and the parents could go home and watch their students present things. They thought it was cool, and the kids like that too. So if I click on edit, you'll see that this is the my site for all my videos, and each one of these things. Let's go on Google here. I have lots and lots and lots of different pages. See, all these are different pages. And to create things, I just kind of take this title thing and I just drag it here, and then I just typed it in. Oh, I want to make embedded code. Let's go to my using Google browser. So you know how I talked about Google browsers? There's a video on that about that. But here, if I to embed code, this is embedding a YouTube video. I just drag this embed code over here and I just post it in. So this is a drag and drop method of creating websites. If you're in our district, you'll find that education.weebly.com is not blocked, but your website that you create will be blocked, but you can get it unblocked. You just have to let them know that it's your website, your class website. You might have to ring them. You might have to call them. You're saying no. Last year, 2 years ago, Killer Bacon was my name of my class that year, and they blocked it. They didn't want to unlock it. I'm like, it's my class. You got to look at it. Yes.
Is education.weebly.com different from the weekly.com?
Education.weebly.com is for educators. It's the free account.
Well, because I kind of looked at it, but we never looked at the I never looked at the education.
Weebly is blocked.
It is, yeah.
But education.weebly is not. So go to education.weebly.com and you'll never have to go through the Wikipedia process to unblock it. And then you can edit your site. Any questions on this? Just a website creator. It's free and it's good for communication with parents. Let me go back to, let me see if I can go back to my sites here. I'm going to go to Killer Bacon since we just talked about that. This is my class website. This is my class website, and so it's my assignments. These were all my assignments I did this week: 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, all the way down back to week 1, right? I just kept that up to date, so whenever parents or students needed to know what was going on in the class, they can look on that so that they're absent. It's a good way to communicate with parents. I cannot speak highly enough about having some place where you can put information where your parents and your students can go and get that information. If I go to social studies, let's go to social studies. State travel report resources. So they were doing, here's their travel report guideline. So I put their guideline form on there and they can get it wherever they're at. They can look at these resources. These are resources that I had. And if they're in the computer lab, they just go to my website and look at the resources that I have for them. And often I've said, don't go anywhere except for my website, and then use the links on the website. If I'm Gestapo like that, I guess. I want them to do what I want them to do. And then there's due dates and everything like this. It's just a clear communication for the parents. I cannot emphasize enough how important, how cool it is to have a class website where you throw everything up and your parents go, hey, thanks for letting me know about this. Or, hey, what about this? It's on my website. Check it out. Okay. All right, go ahead and talk about how you would use Weebly. If you're not already.
But it's like our school site.
I'm going to start passing around a couple documents that I'm going to be using with them.
All right. So how much time do I have? You need 5:30. Golly. Anybody using Flickrs? Anybody want to start using Flickrs? Flickrs? You want to start using Flickrs? Flickrs. I already printed out the papers for the kids. There you go. There's Flickrs. Anybody want to use Elements 4D? Okay. We didn't spend it. We didn't spend it. Oh, we already gotta go. You need it? You want these? Okay, there you go. All right, so I don't have time to go through everything on my list. I knew I didn't. I'm the same way when I was in the 5th grade classroom. I always planned way more than I could ever get through. And it kind of kept us activated and going. But there are a lot of different things that I didn't address. If you want to know more about it, you can click on the link that is provided on your notes, or you can just put your email address underneath the topic, and I'll email you information about that topic. Sound good? Yep. And I need you guys to take a survey for me. There's the QR codes up there, but it's also a link on the www.techfact.com. It's right there, survey to be taken after the session. You click on that, take the survey for me, please. It's a Google form. We didn't even talk about Google Forms. My goodness, there's so much on Google Forms. But survey to be taken after the session. Go ahead and take the survey for me. Let me know if you liked how it ran, if you liked the fact that we spun the wheel, or if you liked it to be a little bit more focused. I don't care. Just tell me what you need and what you think about everything. And I am out of time.
Drew, thank you so much for taking your time to come and share all these cool ideas. I didn't want to offer your services, but I know Drew does go out to classrooms and do demo lessons and things like